My name is Ember, and welcome to my channel where I play The Sims 4. I'm really excited about the video I have to share with you all today, which is the first in a series of houses built based on the colors of various pride flags. So as you can probably tell from the title and maybe the thumbnail, this house was based on the rainbow colors of the gay pride flag. I had actually already had the idea for this series when I realized that, June is Pride Month, so I thought it would be very fitting to share a lot of these videos during Pride Month. So currently I plan to release at least one pride flag based build each week in June, and maybe more depending on how much time I have. So let me know in the comments what flags you'd like to see first or next, because I'm not really sure which ones I'm going to do next, so I'd love to hear, which ones you all would like to see. And make sure to subscribe if you want to make sure to catch all of them. I'm also planning to make like a family or a household to live in each house, and to also like design their outfits around the colors of that specific pride flag. So I'll also be releasing some Create a Sim videos where I talk about those families and sort of the backstory that I imagine for them, and also create their style and their clothing based on these different colors. So if you'd like, you can download those families or those households and have them live in the houses that I built, and it'll all be color coordinating and all matching. But you can also just download the houses and have your own Sims live there. Or, feel free to download the households and change them up to something that fits you and fits your play style and what you want to see. I think even though, The Sims as a game does allow you a good deal of freedom when it comes to queerness and like different gender options, there still are some constraints on what you can do. And also the game, like the releases that come out with the base game and different packs, don't really have that much queerness in them. Like the option is there, but I guess they don't want to alienate their users who don't want to see queerness, so they opt to, most townies are in straight relationships. So even though there is that option for queerness, to really see it in the game, we kind of have to create it ourselves. So I'm hoping with this series to create that and give, more representation in the game, help people to be able to see themselves. And even if you don't play The Sims and you just, like watching these videos, I think that it's really nice to see stories that maybe we can recognize ourselves or our community in. So for this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this build that I made, and then later on, I'm also going to give some suggestions of gay YouTubers and gay YouTube channels that I personally really enjoy, and I think that some of you might enjoy as well. The YouTubers I'm going to recommend in this series are very diverse in the type of content that they create, so I think that there can be something for everyone. I mean, if you don't like what some of these YouTubers talk about, like, you can skip those, and maybe some other ones will, catch your eye. But this is something that I plan to do for this series, is to, while I'm, showing off my speed builds, because it's nice to have something to talk about. And I think that sometimes it can be hard to find YouTubers that like you identify with and that share identities with you. And so over the years, I've found some channels that I really like, and I'd like to share them with y'all. So for each, pride flag based build that I do, I'll be sharing some YouTubers that either fall into that category or that identity, or at least talk about that kind of thing on their channel. So when I started working on this build, at first I was building in Willow Creek, and I was kind of just trying to make like, a normal suburban house, but in rainbow color. But I soon realized that wasn't really going to work. I think the aesthetic wasn't going to fit, and it just wasn't lining up. So I decided to use shipping containers basically as the basis for this house, because we got lots of new like wallpaper and flooring to make shipping container homes basically in the Eco Lifestyle pack. And I thought, they're already so colorful. They have like most of the colors that I'd want to use. So I thought it would be a perfect way to make a rainbow colored house that, fits into the world and looks really cool. So that's what I did. I moved to Evergreen Harbor, and on the lot that already has a shipping container home built on it, but no one's like living there when you load into the game, I started building this house. So I knew from watching other people's builds that there's this rainbow prop or like set piece from the Get Famous pack. And so I went into debug and I found that rainbow little archway, and I thought it would be, perfect for this house. So I raised it up and put it on top of some of the shipping containers. I tried to use as much, rainbow things in the game as possible, and where that didn't exist, I just stuck to the colors of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple, and tried to match the color scheme as best as I could. I did also discover some new things we have with like rainbow colors and rainbow patterns on it through doing this build, so that was fun. And I also reused a lot of things, like the rainbow rug I of course used in multiple places, and the like striped rainbow wall. I tried to limit the number of packs I used so that the most people as possible could download this build, but I also wanted to, be able to use things that would make the house look really good and fit this color scheme. So I did end up using quite a few packs. Some of them more than others, like the seasons is kind of necessary because there's lots of like festive rainbow things, which was cool. But there are other packs that I really only use, one or two things from, so they could probably be replaced. I did use cats and dogs because this house is set up for a cat and a dog to live in. I even gave them their own little pet room, which I think turned out really cool. I had this little extra space and I was like, oh, well, the family that I made, they have a cat and a dog in it, so it makes sense to make them their own room. You may be able to, catch a sneak peek of this family that I created for this house throughout the speed build because I did, I had them sort of on the lot while I was building. I like to make families or make household for the houses that I'm going to build because for me as I'm building, it's just easier if you have an idea of who you're creating it for and what kind of people will live there, how many bedrooms they need, what their bedrooms might be like. And I think that this family turned out really well. The rainbow color scheme was a little bit harder in Create-A-Sim than in build mode, to be honest. There were not that many rainbow things, but I still think they turned out really cute and I really like this family. And I will be posting a video talking about them and showing them in the next few days, so make sure you keep an eye out for that video. So now we're on the top floor of the house, which is where the bedrooms are. As you can see, I sort of messed around with different beds for a while, trying to find ones that fit. At first I thought there wasn't a bed with a rainbow cover, but I later realized that there actually is a bed from Get Famous. It's a very fancy bed, but it does have a really cool rainbow print. So I did add that into the master bedroom, which is where Axel and his husband Kai sleep. Right now I'm decorating their teen son's room where he lives with his partner Jewel. So Jewel basically wasn't accepted by their parents and they needed a place to stay. And so, of course, the Westbrook family was happy to take them in. I want to, with this series, to represent the importance of found family and chosen family, and that, you don't need to be related by blood to be a family. So I definitely want to include more, types of family that are not just biological. And both bedrooms also have different variants of the gay pride flag in them. So in the teenager's room, there's I think it's called the Philadelphia pride flag with a black and brown stripe to draw special attention to people of color and why we need to be vocal and be deliberate about inclusion and about remembering that when we celebrate pride, it's not just about white gay people, or it's not just about a particular kind of gay person. And in the master bedroom, they have the Progress pride flag above their bed, which also contains a black and brown stripe, and also the colors of the trans flag, which I thought was fitting since Kai, one of the dads, is trans. I decided I'm not going to make a separate build for those flags, even though, I said, I'm going to do a build based on each of the different pride flags that are available in the game. But it seems kind of weird to build a house based on like skin color, which is what some of the stripes on those flags stand for. So I just included them in this house. And plus with the trans flag colors, I'll be doing a whole separate house using those colors. There's also a bathroom on the second floor and on the ground floor. So there's 2 bathrooms in this house that have a shower and a bath and a toilet. So 2 full bathrooms. And for the master bedroom, I ended up making it like pretty fancy. That wasn't my original goal for it, but the rainbow bed I ended up finding was like really, really nice one from Get Famous. And so I decided that, maybe I should make the rest of the style of that bedroom a little bit more fancy. And I think it turned out really well. It's a really nice bedroom. And yeah, overall, I think that, for being made up of a bunch of shipping containers, I think the house ended up looking really nice inside. And it all just worked really well. Even if, a lot of the rooms are kind of long and narrow as they are inside shipping containers. Okay, so now as promised, here's some recommendations for YouTube channels where either the people who run the YouTube channel are gay or they talk about gay and queer issues. So the first one that I have is the YouTube channel Are They Gay?, which is a really fun YouTube channel that looks at characters in media, usually that are not canonically gay or, they're not confirmed to be gay, but it sort of examines their interactions and their relationship and says, hey, this is kind of gay actually. So I really like the analyses on this channel. Some of my favorite recent ones are They Gay? Troy and Abed from Community, because I definitely ship them. And it's a great analysis. And I also really like the one about Chad and Ryan from High School Musical 2. It's just really nice to look at characters that, are generally portrayed to be straight in their media, but a lot of queer people will look at them and say, like, there's something gay there. And so, to be able to talk about those things, and I've even, watched some videos about media that I may not have read or watched. Like, I watched the one on The Great Gatsby, and I've never even read that, but it was still a very interesting analysis. And it's cool to hear someone who's so passionate about, why these characters actually are gay. Sorry, that may be a spoiler for, most of the videos. They're gay. So if you like gay media analysis, this is a good channel for you. And by the way, I'll link all of these channels down in the description, all the channels that I mentioned in this video, so you can go check them out. Now, this is a Sims 4 video, so of course I have to recommend the amazing gay Sims 4 YouTuber, English Simmer. I'm including the English Simmer in the gay category because I don't know exactly how she labels herself, but she definitely uses the word gay a lot to describe herself, to describe Sims. You'll regularly find Molly saying, oh, I'm gay for this Sim. And I mean, a lot of us are. But yeah, it's just really nice to see Sims content that centers gay and queer relationships and identities, and just has that representation that we don't always see. So if you like The Sims 4, and if you're gay or queer or whatever, you will probably enjoy the English Simmers videos. She has a challenge going on right now that I'm actually really enjoying, the Bachelorette Challenge, but all of the contestants are pan, basically. So there's people of all different genders in the Bachelorette Challenge, and it's just really refreshing, a really refreshing take on something that's often extremely gendered and heteronormative. Another channel that I highly recommend is called Dream Sounds, and it focuses mostly on Disney and Disney music, and especially on gayness and queerness in Disney music. I really enjoyed the video, Kenny Ortega Made Me Queer. And Kenny Ortega was a director of a lot of Disney Channel original movies. Dream Sounds also talks a lot about Howard Ashman, who was a gay man who had a really big impact on the sound of Disney music. So movies like The Little Mermaid and The Beauty and the Beast were, their sound was created in large part by Howard Ashman, who was a gay man. And so it's been really cool to learn about the history of that. Another channel that is a bit different from these, but that I personally enjoy, is What's the Safe Word? Now, this channel is about kink and BDSM education, so if that's not for you, you probably won't enjoy it. But I do really enjoy watching What's the Safe Word, and Amp and Mr. Christopher's relationship is really cool, and they're very educational. They teach about a lot of things, about like sex education, kink education, and about gayness and queerness. Now, that's all the YouTuber recommendations I have for this video. I do plan to give more recommendations with each video and for each different identity and different build that I do. But if you have any recommendations, please feel free to leave them in the comments down below for me and for other people to find, of, gay YouTubers or YouTube channels that you really enjoy and why you like them. And I hope that you enjoyed this video and this nice rainbow pride house that I've created. And I look forward to sharing all of the rest of the houses that I build and the Sims that I create with you all.